Astra Zeneca shot, it's been a go, then a hold, then a go, and then a pause. And 1,680 individuals here on the island have gotten that injection. And I can only imagine what they're experiencing today to have received that injection, feeling that they were told that if you're under age, depending on who you're listening to, if you're under age 65 or you're under age 55, it's all good. And then now it's on pause. And maybe it'll just be fine. However, they are finding evidence that there is this little thing happening at the 4 and the 20-day mark that can potentially create blood clots. For a virus, COVID-19, that has such minimal possibility of creating serious, moderate, or serious effects in a person under the age of 55, almost like 1%. Anyways, I'm trusting the process here for those that get it, but I just feel for those people that have received this injection because they trusted the advice of someone else. And my whole thing always is about trusting your own inner guidance. And if you were trusting and that's what you felt to do, great. But if you were coerced, if you felt kind of pressured, if you felt that was the right thing to do, then my heart goes out to you, because now you're wondering, is something happening in my body? Is there going to be a long-term effect in my body? Because there's a lot of conversation that, yes, vaccines have wiped out childhood illnesses. We also have a lot of chronic illnesses and autoimmune system disease. And so I do see this as a great revelation for people to decide for themselves. Do they really put the autonomy of their body in someone else's hands? Or do they believe that there is an inner healer, right? That if you're Christian, that Jesus is in you and is the healer. If you are spiritual and you believe that Source heals and that's it, are you embodying that? Because that's what I love to do. I love to see that light bulb go off in people and discover that, yeah, they're feeling calmer and healthier. And what have they done? They've gotten rid of beliefs and habits and patterns that someone else really gave them and that they thought were theirs. And they started to take in divine healing source energy. And I do believe, like every great masterpiece, every great movie, you have extras in that sense, and they make up the movie, right? A disaster movie doesn't happen unless there's all these people that fall off the edge of the earth, so to speak. So I do realize a lot of people are going to give up their lives or have adverse reactions to help others recognize and say, whoa, maybe I need to just pause for the moment. Because for me, this is the Great Awakening. The Great Awakening is that you are able to be your own healer. Bruno Gruning called it back in the 50s. He said, there'll come a time. It's biblical too. Like, it's all over the map. Anybody that's ever studied anything other than just pure science, which is the basis of our world and which is very relevant, but science only proves what's already in existence. And if you feel science can run your immune system better than you can run your immune system, then go for it. However, if you're one of those people that's sitting on the fence, that's why I'm doing this one. If you're one of these ones sitting on the fence and wondering what to do, and you need a dose of positivity or a dose of reframing, then reach out, because I'm never going to tell anybody what to do. I'm never going to be like those health officials says, this is the best thing for you. You go get vaccinated, or don't go get vaccinated. That's not my job. That's nobody's job. Because ultimately, you're the one that's you're the one that's responsible for your body. It's your life. The vaccine manufacturers, the politicians, the health officials, and everybody else in your life is no responsibility for the decisions you're making. And it's like the same vaccine counseling I did for 25 years ago. I would say there's no right answer because you know your life. You know what you're guided to do. Only you know what role you're playing in this whole production. I'm just being the lighthouse for the people that want to believe that their inner guidance is telling them to pause. If that's what it's saying, I'm saying, listen, spend some time, get in touch with it. Be sure. When I first started this, I just delayed. I wasn't sure. 25 years ago, I delayed. I did research. I did that. I checked in. I did research. I delayed. I never said never. I just delayed. And I delayed it their whole lives. Their whole child's lives, right? They're adults now. They can make their own choices. So that's the message. If you're 100% certain, if you're clearly guided to go get an injection that is only going to know the long-term results in 2023, that bypassed the animal studies, because the animal studies have shown in the mRNA vaccine that the next time they're exposed to the virus, it has immediate antibody response, but the next time they're exposed to the virus, their immune system has major effects. Now that could be true, it could not be true. Because again, I'm not the one that's seeing that evidence. I'm hearing that evidence, just like I'm hearing the evidence from the public health officials. So that's where I take this information, I take that information, and I go here. And for those of you that know me, it's like I didn't do vaccines for a long time, but then 2 years ago, even though I knew my foot was healed, even though I stuck my foot on a nail, I was guided to go have a tetanus shot. And part of that was the experience of saying to the doctor, no, I only need the tetanus shot. And I was okay and at peace with the situation. It was the experience. For those that work with me, they know. I always say the experience is the experience. What we're experiencing is the experience. So the experience of not knowing what to do is the experience. The experience of getting an injection and trusting and believing that it's doing fine for your body is the experience. The experience of fearing is the experience. The experience of being overjoyed that you're doing this, if that's the way you feel, to help humanity, that's the experience. Only you know what your experience is. And when I got that injection on the tetanus, it was the experience of being calm and peaceful with the doctor. As she was trying to push the pertussis tetanus vaccine on me, I was able to say, no, I only need the tetanus. Well, we're doing this. No, I only need the tetanus. There wasn't any anger or resentment or judgment that I had in the past about a doctor wanting to push a certain procedure at me. I was okay. I respected that that was the role she was playing. That was her job. And when that injection went in, within, 10 seconds almost, I could feel it run right through. And I said, oh my gosh, I can just feel this going through. And the lady said, oh my gosh, you're having an adverse reaction? I'm like, no, I can just feel it moving through my whole body. She's like, wow, you're so sensitive. I'm like, yeah, I knew I was sensitive to energy. I knew I could sense many things, but to actually see it, to sense it this time when I've had, 20, 30 vaccines prior in my younger years and never even noticed anything. I was probably like a zombie when I was getting them done. So we're at different places at different times and everybody's doing their thing. And, everybody plays their note, everybody plays their role, and we're like this universal symphony that's creating this beautiful transformation, healing from the inside out. We're having an awakening. We're truly beginning to understand what bodily autonomy means, what freedom truly means. And that is an amazing thing. Healing from the inside out. Mwah. Lots of love. Trust your judgment. Trust your inner guidance.